Hi guys, it's Victory again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be making this high-low kimono jacket with hanging pockets. If it's something you're interested in, just keep on watching and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. For this tutorial, we'll be using this Ankara fabric and it is 1.5 yards. So now the first thing we're going to do is to fold our material into two. And to do that, we're going to be taking this part where there's printing at the top, this part of the Ankara print fabric where there's normally printing at the top and at the bottom where they have letters and numbers. So you're going to fold it right side facing each other like this. So this is how you're going to fold your fabric, like this. You're going to place it right side facing each other like this. So now the next thing we're going to do is to take the top of our fabric like this top part, and fold it, place it on the other part of the fabric like this. So fold it like this. Make sure you arrange it and place it just like you see me doing. So just watch closely so you don't miss any part of it. So guys, this one right here will serve as our front piece. So remember, we're making an high-low top, meaning that the front part will be shorter than the back part. So this one that I'm measuring is for the front part. So I'm trying to insert my front piece measurement and I'm just going to keep adjusting it until I get my front piece measurement, and I'm working with 20 inches for my front piece because I don't want it to be so short. So I'm going to be working with 20 inches, but I'm measuring 21 inches. The other 1 inch is for the hemming at the bottom. So I'll go ahead and adjust it till I get my desired length. So go ahead and adjust yours. Make sure it's placed rightly and is equal. So this right here is my 21 inches from my front piece. So I folded it to the point where I got my desired measurement for my front piece. So fold yours till you get your desired length. It can be shorter, it can be longer, just depending on what you want. So right here is my front piece, and remember the back is going to be longer. So right here I have my front piece like this. So this is my front piece. The one I opened just now is my front piece. So it is 21 inches. So right now I'm just making sure I have my 21 inches on either side, and if it's not equal, I'm adjusting it to make sure everything is perfect for the front piece. So like we said earlier, the back piece is going to be longer than the front piece. So on that point where my front piece ended, I'm going to be marking out 5 inches. So the back piece will be 5 inches longer than the front piece. So go ahead and mark out my 5 inches like this. So after marking, I'm going to connect this line like this. So the longer one is for the back, then the shorter one is for the front. So I'll go ahead and connect my lines. So after marking, I'll go ahead and cut out this line that I just marked, which is the one I marked for the back piece. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So that's the only thing I'm cutting for now. So just watch closely and see the way I'm cutting it out. So this is what it's looking like after cutting out the back piece. So right here I have my front piece and my back piece together. So for this top, we're going to be cutting the back piece and the front piece together. So right here the front piece is 21 inches and the back is 26 inches like this. So now we're going to be inserting our measurement. I'm just going to turn this over so you can see it. So after turning, this is what it's looking like. So this part with the close end, with the two close end together, which is the front close end and the back close end together. So now this part is going to serve as our front. So just keep watching so you understand what I'm saying. So this part with the close end, that's where we are going to insert our neckline. So from this edge, this closed end, that's where my tape is going to be starting from. So I'm going to place my tape on the edge like this on the closed part. Just watch closely, you understand what I'm trying to show you. So on that part, I'm going to be marking out my neckline. So I'll come down by 1 inch. Sorry I'm blocking this, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'll come down by 1 inch, then take 3 inches for the width of the neckline. So for our back piece neckline, I'm going to be marking out 3 inches by 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect it like this. I'm just trying to make the lines bolder so you can see the markings on the fabric. So from that same point again, I'm going to be coming down by 8 inches. So I'll be marking out 8 inches for my front neckline. So the front is going to be 8 inches deep. So on that 8 inches, I'm going to go in by 2 inches. So from that 8 inches, I'm going to go in by 2 inches like this. I'm going to rule a line like this. So from that point, I'm going to connect it to my back neckline, which is a 3 inches earlier. So the front neckline is going to have a form of V at the front. So the neckline is like a V at the front. So I'm going to connect it like this. So as you can see, the shape is already coming out. So I'm going to connect it like this, 2 inches deep and 8 inches long. Then rule a line connecting to the back neckline like a slant line. So now from that 2 inches point that we went in by, this 2 inches point, we're going to connect it, rule a line down to the bottom of the front piece. So from that 2 inches that we came in by, we're going to mark the 2 inches all the way to the bottom of the front piece. So now the next thing we're going to do is to mark our armhole. After marking out our neckline is to mark our armhole. So this top is not going to have any joining at the shoulder, so just go ahead and mark our armhole. So to do that, I'm going to turn the fabric, the material this way, so you see where I'm going to be marking out our armhole. So on the other end of the fabric, the part where there's printing at the other side, that is open, which is the other end of the fabric, after marking out our neckline on this end, the other end, which is this part. So this open part, we're going to mark our arm. So our normal armhole is 8 inches, but because this is going to be a free top, I'm going to be marking out 10 inches for the armhole. So I'm just going to extend this 10 inches point, and this is going to serve as our chest line. So on the chest line, I'm going to be marking my round bust measurement. So the round bust measurement I'm using for this top is 40 inches. So 40 divided by 4 is 10, plus 5 inches for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance at the side. So I'm going to be marking out 16 inches. So 40 divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches and 1 inch for seam and ease. So I'm marking out 16 inches on this chest line. So on this chest line, I'm going to mark out the round bust measurement. I'm going to extend this line to the end of my fabric. I'll extend it to the end of my fabric, both the front end and the back piece end. So I extend it all the way down. So I'll go ahead and make a curve on this point to blend these sides together. So you can come in by 0.7 inches, or you can use your freehand to make a curve and blend it in like this. So now we can go ahead and cut this out. Cut out the side, the neckline. So to cut out the neckline, I'll cut out the back neckline first, because the front and the back are together. So I'll cut out the back first. Then after cutting out the back, I'm going to open it up, then cut out the front separately. So just watch closely and see how I'm cutting it out so you don't get confused. So I'll open it up like this. After cutting out the back, I'm going to cut out my front neckline now. So I'm going to cut out this front part that I have marked out. So this part I'm cutting out is going to serve as my collar. So I'm going to cut out a collar that will replace this part I'm cutting out like this. So just watch closely and cut yours like this. So as you can see, I ended at the neckline, the back neckline. So guys, this was looking like after cutting. So I'm just going to open this up so you see what it's looking like. So as you can see, there's no joining at the shoulder, and it's already looking like a jacket. So now to get our collar for our front neckline, I'm going to measure it all the way around. So I'll start from the bottom, the base of the front piece. So I'll measure it all the way around, or you can fold it into two and measure it, then whatever you get you multiply it by 2. But I'm going to measure this all the way around, so whatever I get is what I'm going to cut out for my collar. I got 51 after measuring it round, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out my collar, and it's going to be 51 inches long. So the collar is going to be 5 inches wide and 51 inches long. So I'll be cutting 2 of these and joining it together to get my 51 inches. So each one will be 27, which is approximately 54 joined together. So the excess that is remaining, I'm going to trim it out after attaching the collar. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So whatever is remaining as the excess, I'm going to trim it out after sewing, just to be on the safer side. So this 2 piece here, I'm going to join it together to get my 51 inches, but right here I have 54 inches. So I'm going to join this together with half an inch. I'll join it with half an inch. So after joining, I went ahead to iron it on either side with half inch on either side. So after ironing on either side with half inch, I had 4 inches remaining. So I folded that 4 inches into 2 again like this, making it 2 inches. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to fold this into 2 and make a notch at the middle. So I'll fold it into 2 and make a notch at the middle of the back neckline like this. So I'm going to make a notch like this. So after this, I'm going to measure whatever I have. I measure whatever I have. After measuring, I got 4 inches. So this 4 inches plus the 8 inches for the front neckline. So we have the 8 inches and the 4 inches together, which is 12 inches. So we're going to fold our collar into 2 like this. Look for the midpoint of our collar. So mine, I already have the midpoint of mine because of this joining I made. So look for the midpoint of your collar and fold it into 2, then mark your 12 inches. So mark your 12 inches. So this 12 inches round, when you open it up, you have 24 inches. This 24 inches is going to serve as our neckline. So it's going to serve as our neckline of the collar, which is the opening part of the neckline. So I'm going to mark the 12 inches like this. Just watch closely, you understand, so you don't get confused. So I'm going to mark my 12 inches on my collar. So I went ahead to open it up. I'm going to mark out my 12 inches on it like this. Remember, it is folded into 2. So right here I have my collar folded into 2. So I placed it at the midpoint of it, so at the middle. So I marked out 12 inches. The tape is placed at the middle and I marked out 12 inches like this. So I'm just going to roll out these 12 inches on a straight line like this. So now after marking it out, from that point that I marked out, I'm going to make a stitch from the middle to the bottom. So this line that you're seeing at the middle, I'm going to stitch on that line like this ironed line that you've seen. I'm going to stitch on that line. So after stitching, this is what it's looking like. So like I said, I'm going to stitch from that point to the bottom. Remember, we left this other part open. That's the 12 inches for our neckline, our round neck. So now I'm opening it up. So watch closely so you see how I am doing it. So I'm just going to open it up like this, fold it like this. So as you can see, our collar is coming out. So this is what it's going to look like when you open it up and fold the neckline. So watch closely so you understand. So I opened it up like this. So this part is going to serve as our collar. Then the open part is our round neck for the top. So I went ahead to iron it out. So this is what it's looking like after ironing. So now I'm just going to attach this collar to our top. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach the collar to our top. So remember the knot we made at the middle of the back neckline. So we're going to be placing it in the middle of the collar neckline. So remember the middle of the collar neckline as well. Mine is already joined together, so that will serve as my middle, like I said earlier. So I'm going to open it up. This middle point is going to be in between the collar. So just watch closely and see the way I'm going to place it. So place it inside like this, then I'm going to pin it down. So adjust it very well and place yours. So place it like this, the middle to middle. So remember, I'm opening up the collar to put this neckline into the in between it. So I'll keep opening it up and I'll be placing this neckline in between the collar just like this. I'll do it all the way round. So I'll use my pin to secure it after placing it in between so that it doesn't move out again. So I'll keep doing this until I get to the bottom. So I'll open it up till the base of the front piece like this. I'll do the same thing for both either side of the front, the neckline area. So this is what it's looking like after pinning. So I'm going to take this in my machine and sew it all the way around. So this is what it's looking like after stitching it down. So as you can see, the collar is already out. I'm going to give this a very good brush later. So the next thing we're going to do now is to hem the sleeve. So I'm going ahead to hem the bottom of my sleeve on both sides. So I'm going to do the same thing for the base of my front piece and the base of my back piece. So I'll go ahead and do that. So for the front piece, as you can see, this is the excess that I was talking about. So I'll go ahead and trim it up, then hem the bottom. So now I've hemmed the bottom already. So I've hemmed the bottom of the back piece, the front piece, and the sleeve. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides together. So when joining the side, I'm going to stop at where the front piece ended and make a notch, then fold my back piece like this to avoid these rough edges. So I'm going to fold it like this. So I'm going to stop at where the front piece ended and make a notch then. So this is what it's looking like. I've hemmed the bottom, the side, and like I said, I made a notch at the point where the front piece ended and I folded the rough edge of the back piece. So this is what it's looking like after. So now the next thing for us to do is to add our pocket, but before I do that, I'm going to notch this area of the armhole so that it can rest very well when we turn it to the other side. So I'll do that and turn it to the other side. So guys, this is what it's looking like afterwards, and we're going to add our pockets now. So guys, for the pocket, I'm going to be cutting out 13 inches wide and 9.5 inches deep, 10.5 inches long. So basically I'm making use of what I have here. So I think I have almost 10 inches here. So that's what I'm going to cut out for my pockets. So you can make yours 11 or 10 or 12. We're making mine 9.5, then 13 inches wide. So now I'm just going to fold the pocket like this, and I'll cut 2 of this. So after that, I'm going to fold it at the top like this with 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch at the top. Then I'm going to join the base together, and so this is what it's looking like after running a stitch at the top to close the rough edge. So I'm going to fold it up like this and close the base of the pocket and the sides. Then I'm going to turn it over. I'll do the same thing on both sides. So guys, this is what it's looking like afterwards. So I'm going to turn it over like I did the other one, then bring out the edges like this. So I'm going to do the same thing for this other piece as well, then press it down with my iron. So now we're going to be adding the pocket to our top now. So to add the pocket, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inches from where our collar ended. That's where I'm going to place my pocket. So I'm going to mark it 2.5 inches from where the collar ended, like on the side, from where the collar ended on the side. Then the pocket is going to be hanging on the front piece. So I'm just going to pull half of the pocket to the front piece, and the remaining half will be hanging. So guys, this is what it's looking like after sewing. I've gone ahead to stitch the sides down. I also went ahead to stitch the inside pocket as well, so that it won't be open on the other side. So I did the same thing for the other side of the pocket, the other pocket as well. Like I said, I went in by 2.5 inches before I attached my pocket. So that's basically all for this top. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit on the subscribe button right now so you get notified when I post another video, and so you help grow this channel. And again, if you have subscribed to this channel, you guys are the best and I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video to this point. Don't forget to hit on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. So I'll also be dropping a video on how I made this band, so just stay tuned and turn on your notification bell so you get notified. See you guys on my next